Elephants, majestic giants, they roam the African savanna and Asian forests. Their size inspires awe, but within these powerful creatures lies something even greater: intelligence. Elephants possess remarkable cognitive abilities. They display problem-solving skills. They communicate in complex ways. Their memory is legendary. These are not just animals. They are thinking, feeling beings. We must acknowledge their intelligence. We must respect their place in the natural world. The future of elephants depends on our understanding. Elephants are emotional creatures. They experience joy, grief, and anger. They form deep bonds with their family members. They show empathy for others in their herd. Their trumpets echo across the plains. Each sound conveys a message, a warning of danger, a call to gather, a rumble of contentment. Their communication is complex. These are not just sounds, they are expressions of a rich inner life, a life we are only beginning to understand. Elephant society is complex. Families are matriarchal, meaning they are led by the oldest and wisest female. This matriarch is not just a leader, but a guide, protector, and teacher. Her role is crucial for the survival and well-being of the entire herd. The oldest and wisest female leads the herd. She is the repository of the herd's collective memory, knowing the best routes to water and food sources, and the safest paths to avoid predators. Her experience and knowledge are invaluable. She guides her family to food and water, ensuring they have enough to eat and drink. During times of drought, her memory of distant waterholes can mean the difference between life and death for the herd. She protects them from danger, standing guard and leading the charge if a threat arises. Her presence provides a sense of security and stability for the entire group. Young calves stay close to their mothers, learning essential survival skills. These young elephants are nurtured and cared for by the entire herd, creating a strong support system. They learn everything from them: how to find food, how to communicate. Elephants use a variety of vocalizations, body language, and even seismic signals to convey messages. The young ones watch and mimic these behaviors, gradually mastering the complex language of elephants. How to survive in a challenging world. They learn to navigate difficult terrains, find hidden water sources, and recognize the signs of danger. The matriarch's guidance is crucial in teaching these survival skills. The bonds between family members are unbreakable. Elephants form deep emotional connections with each other, often showing affection through touching trunks, huddling together, and even vocalizing softly to one another. They grieve deeply when a loved one dies. The loss of a family member is felt profoundly, and the herd often stands vigil over the deceased, touching and caressing the body with their trunks in a display of mourning. They mourn their loss with touching displays of sorrow. This mourning period can last for days, showing the depth of their emotional bonds and the importance of each member to the herd. Their capacity for emotion is undeniable. Elephants demonstrate a range of feelings, from joy and playfulness to grief and compassion. These emotional connections are the foundation of their strong family bonds, making the elephant society one of the most intricate and touching in the animal kingdom. Elephants face many threats. The most pressing is poaching. The illegal ivory trade continues to decimate elephant populations. Greedy humans kill for profit. The demand for ivory is driven by greed and ignorance. We must expose this cruel trade. We must educate consumers about the consequences of their choices. Every piece of ivory represents a life lost, a family torn apart, a species pushed closer to the brink. We must stop the killing. We must dry nature's tears. Section 5, A Shrinking World. As we delve into the complexities of our rapidly changing world, we must confront the harsh realities faced by wildlife, particularly elephants. These majestic creatures are increasingly finding themselves in a battle for survival as their habitats are relentlessly encroached upon by human activities. Habitat loss is another significant threat. Human populations are expanding at an unprecedented rate, leading to the relentless spread of urban areas. This expansion often comes at the expense of natural habitats, pushing wildlife into smaller and more fragmented spaces. Forests and grasslands are being converted to farmland and urban areas. Bulldozers and other heavy machinery clear vast tracts of land, transforming once lush forests into agricultural fields. This not only reduces the available habitat for elephants, but also disrupts the delicate balance of the ecosystem. Elephants are losing their homes. As their natural habitats shrink, these gentle giants are forced to venture closer to human settlements in search of food and water. This displacement creates a precarious situation for both elephants and humans. As their habitat shrinks, elephants come into conflict with humans. The close proximity often leads to dangerous encounters, with elephants wandering into villages and towns, sometimes causing panic and fear among the residents. They raid crops in search of food. With their natural food sources dwindling, elephants have little choice but to forage in farmlands. This behavior, while a survival tactic for the elephants, results in significant losses for farmers who depend on their crops for livelihood. They damage property out of desperation. In their quest for sustenance, elephants often trample gardens, break fences, and cause other forms of property damage. This not only leads to economic losses, but also heightens tensions between humans and elephants. This conflict often leads to retaliation. Frustrated and fearful, some communities resort to harmful measures to protect their property and lives. This can result in injury or even death for the elephants, further exacerbating the decline of their populations. We must find ways to coexist. It is imperative that we develop and implement strategies that allow humans and elephants to live together peacefully. Community education and conservation initiatives play a crucial role in fostering understanding and cooperation. We need to create corridors for elephant migration. Establishing wildlife corridors can provide safe passage for elephants, allowing them to move between fragmented habitats without coming into conflict with human activities. These corridors are vital for their survival and well-being. We must protect their remaining habitat. Conservation efforts must focus on preserving and restoring the natural environments that elephants depend on. Protected areas and wildlife reserves are essential in safeguarding these habitats from further destruction. Their survival depends on our actions. The future of elephants is inextricably linked to the choices we make today. By committing to conservation and sustainable practices, we can ensure that these magnificent creatures continue to roam the earth for generations to come. Section 6, a changing climate. As we delve into the impacts of climate change, we see a world that is rapidly transforming. The signs are all around us, and they are becoming increasingly difficult to ignore. Climate change adds another layer of complexity to the already intricate web of life on Earth. The melting ice caps are a stark reminder of the warming planet, while extreme weather conditions wreak havoc on ecosystems and human communities alike. The dry, cracked earth symbolizes the growing scarcity of water, a resource that is essential for all forms of life. Droughts are becoming more frequent and severe. Water sources are dwindling, leaving once thriving landscapes parched and barren. Vegetation is becoming scarce, struggling to survive in the harsh conditions. These changes are not just statistics, they are real, tangible shifts that affect every living being on this planet. Elephants are particularly vulnerable to these changes. These majestic creatures, known for their intelligence and social bonds, are finding it increasingly difficult to adapt to the rapidly changing environment. The dry savannas and drought conditions are pushing them to their limits. They need vast quantities of food and water to survive. An adult elephant can consume up to 300 pounds of vegetation and drink up to 50 gallons of water in a single day. With water sources becoming scarce and vegetation dwindling, their survival is at risk. Climate change is making it harder for them to meet their basic needs. The barren landscapes and the relentless search for water are taking a toll on their health and well-being. The struggle for survival is becoming more intense with each passing day. We must address climate change on a global scale. The urgency of the situation calls for a collective action. From global climate protests to the adoption of renewable energy sources like wind turbines and solar panels, every effort counts. We need to come together as a global community to combat this crisis. We need to reduce our carbon footprint. Simple actions, such as riding bicycles instead of driving cars, planting trees and supporting renewable energy initiatives, can make a significant difference. Every small step contributes to a larger movement towards a more sustainable future. We must protect our planet for the sake of all living things. Diverse ecosystems and thriving wildlife are indicators of a healthy planet. By conserving lush forest areas and protecting wildlife, We ensure that future generations can enjoy the beauty and benefits of a balanced natural world. The time to act is now, for the sake of our planet and all its inhabitants. Section 7. Guardians of Giants. There is hope. Across Africa and Asia, dedicated individuals and organizations are working tirelessly to protect elephants. They are fighting poaching, preserving habitat and raising awareness. These conservation heroes are making a difference. They are risking their lives to save elephants from extinction. They are giving these magnificent creatures a fighting chance, but they cannot do it alone. They need our support. We must stand with them in their fight to protect elephants. Section 8. Hope on the horizon. Local communities are at the forefront of elephant conservation. They are working to reduce human-elephant conflict. They are educating their children about the importance of wildlife. These communities understand that elephants are essential to the health of their ecosystems. They know that losing elephants would have devastating consequences for their own well-being. By empowering local communities, we can create a sustainable future for elephants. We can build a world where humans and elephants coexist in harmony. Section 9. A future for elephants. The future of elephants is in our hands. We have the power to choose a different path, a path that values life over greed, a path that respects nature's wonders. Let us choose to protect elephants. Let us support conservation efforts. Let us teach future generations to appreciate these magnificent creatures. The time to act is now. The fate of elephants hangs in the balance. Let us choose wisely. Let us choose hope.